МКС ЦУПа Москвы, ВСГ-1 для Антона по контролю стыковки.
Station Moscow on Space to Ground 1 for Anton regarding the approach and docking monitoring.
Да, Коль.
Yes, Nikolai, go ahead.
Ну, вы на формате
All right.
СМ курс.
You are on SM Sudan course passive.
Наблюдаете?
Do you see anything there?
Да, есть времена.
Yes, we do.
Московском КСК ВСГ-1.
Moscow Station on Space to Ground 1.
ВСГ-1.
Go ahead on Space to Ground 1.
Да, Коль, какая нужна?
Nikolai, what were you asking?
Ну, формат СМ СУДН курс пассивный.
So SM Sudan course passive. Do you see anything? What fields are active? We have course
Что еще раз скажи?
line.
Готовность курс.
Готов.
So we have course selected and
Не там.
we copy.
Хорошо.
Okay, sounds good.
Я слышал, все слышал.
And I copy all.
Экипаж МКС СГ-1.
Station Moscow on space to ground 1. This is Moscow.
Андрей, слушаю.
Andrei, go ahead.
Да, это Андрей Шаламов.
This is Andrei Shalamov with you. Anton, Pyotr, good day to you.
Начинать работать по
Shall we start for page 89 of the Toru ODF book?
89. Хорошо.
Page 89, in work.
Ну и у нас время гарантировано
And time of
18. Это время жду от вас.
the time of guaranteed signal acquisition is 17:18. So you can look at course passive and monitor the range. So yeah, I will let you know. Once we see it, I'll let you know.
Московская МКС канале ГКМ.
Moscow station on space to ground 1. Go ahead.
Андрей, ну как мы договаривались, что...
So as we agreed, I'll do 17.1 till 14, 17, 18, right? Yes. Okay.
Времена мы все...
And the times on OCA, you wrote down the times, the radiogram, you should have it. So you select MRM1 mask on the TVKU. Yes, I have it all selected already.
Принято.
Copy.
Москва МКС говорит 1.
Moscow Station on Space to Ground 1, go ahead.
И у нас появился захват.
We have acquisition,
55, скорость минус 62.
so range is 65 and range rate is minus 62. And we are receiving the video image. Copy.
Ваш МКС по Москвы ГКМ.
Moscow Station on Station Moscow on Space to Ground 1, go ahead.
Антон, я так понял, что
Антон, so 12.1 before the signal acquisition time, you have performed that step and you are seeing everything, including the range rate on the display. Is that correct?
Докладывал, сейчас дальность.
Yes, range is 51 and range rate is minus 56. I already reported it to you. Copy. So please monitor the range and range rate, and at the range of 9 kilometers, be done with activities per step 12 on page 89. Of course, and I will report. Copy.
Москва, дальность 45, скорость минус 52.
Range is 45 and range rate is minus 52. We copy.
Москва, дальность 40, скорость минус 50.
Range rate is 50 and range is 40. Copy.
Москва, дальность 35, скорость минус 45.
Moscow, range is 35 and range rate is 45. So 35 and 45. Copy.
Москва, дальность 30, скорость минус 42.
Принято.
Moscow, the range is 30 and range rate is 42.
25, скорость минус 36.
Range is 25 and range rate is 36. We copy.
Good morning from Mission Control in Houston and the International Space Station Flight Control Room, where at this hour on Black Friday, the Orbit 2 team of flight controllers on console as they work in concert with their Russian counterparts at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow in the final hour or so prior to the docking of a brand new docking port to the International Outpost. We welcome you back from the holiday yesterday, and here in Mission Control, leading the Orbit 2 team of flight controllers is Flight Director Rick Henfling. He is in the blue shirt in the center of your screen. To his right, spacecraft communicator John Voss, who is talking to the Expedition 66 crew on board the International Space Station when required throughout the course of today's operations. Across the Atlantic Ocean, outside of Moscow in the town of Korolyov, this view of Russian flight controllers at the Russian Mission Control Center, who are monitoring all of their data as they watch the slow and methodical approach of the Russian module called Prishal, the Russian word for pier. And there's a view of it as the Russian Prishal node module and its attached Progress propulsion module fly into an orbital sunrise over the South Pacific, about to begin a swing from southwest to northeast in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. Prishal was launched 2 days ago from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. It is a 5-ton module with 6 docking ports, one of which, of course, will be used today to link up to the Earth-facing port of the Naoka Multipurpose Laboratory module, with docking scheduled just under 55 minutes from now. All of the node module systems, all of the Progress propulsion module systems, the Progress propulsion module is attached to Prishal. All of those systems have operated perfectly since launch. All of the pre-programmed engine firings to raise the altitude of Prishal and Progress from its initial orbital insertion altitude, from which it began its chase for the International Space Station 2 days ago. All of those systems have operated by the book, no problems reported whatsoever. Prishal and Progress are about 30 kilometers away from the International Space Station, closing at a normal rate of closure towards the International Space Station. At the time of docking, about 53.5 minutes from now, Prishal and Progress will be closing at a rate of about 1/10 of a meter per second, allowing for contact and capture to the open port on the Naoka Multipurpose Laboratory Module. Prishal, with 5 available docking ports after its link up to Naoka after today, will be able to accommodate multiple Progress resupply ships as well as piloted Soyuz spacecraft in the future. It is a bulbous module weighing about 5 tons, 16 feet long, 8.5 feet in diameter. The node module will remain attached to Naoka, the Progress delivery craft that is sending Prishal to its final destination on the nadir port of Naoka today. It will detach from the node module on December 21st and be deorbited to burn up in the Earth's atmosphere. This is a graphic that shows the post-docking configuration of the Russian segment after today's link-up of Prishal and the Progress delivery craft, and what the configuration will look like after the Progress craft departs on December 21st, leaving the node module in place. A spacewalk, a Russian spacewalk that is planned for about the 3rd week in January, will enable the node module to be integrated into the Russian segment of the International Space Station, as its core's automated rendezvous system and TV cable connections will be hooked up, along with docking targets and handrails for future use. The first docking of a Russian vehicle to Prishal is scheduled for a Soyuz piloted vehicle next March.
Copy.
Есть захват, дальность 13 500, скорость минус 20.
This is a view from an external camera on the Progress delivery craft that is attached to Prishal. This is the familiar engineering cross-haired camera. There will be telemetry that will be overlaid on this display as Prishal moves ever closer to its docking to the International Space Station. Again, Prishal, Progress, and the International Space Station itself, with its 7 crew members on board, flying 260 miles over the South Pacific, about to begin a southwest to northeasterly track that will carry it across Chile, across the eastern coast of South America, traversing up the east coast of South America, and across the west coast of Africa a short time from now. The journey of Prishal, the final element for the Russian segment of the International Space Station, began 2 days ago with its launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan on a Soyuz 2.1B rocket from Site 31 in Baikonur. The launch that occurred at 7:06 a.m. Central Time, 6:06 p.m. in Baikonur, resulted in an 8-minute, 45-second transit to the separation of Prishal from the 3rd stage of the Soyuz rocket. The navigational antennas and solar arrays on the Progress delivery craft were deployed right after spacecraft separation from the Soyuz booster's 3rd stage, enabling all of its systems to be checked out by the Russian flight controllers and for all of its automated engine firings to begin. That now has resulted in Prishal soon to enter the neighborhood of the International Space Station.
Moscow, we just lost video image. The range is 11,770. Range rate is 17 meters per second. Copy. Please continue.
You're hearing the interpreted conversations between Russian flight controllers in Korolyov and the 2 cosmonauts on board the International Space Station, Anton Shkaplerov and Pyotr Dubrov, who are inside the Zvezda service module at a workstation. They will be manning the controls of a joystick called the Toru system, the telerobotically operated rendezvous system, in the unlikely event that the Progress's automated core's rendezvous system should incur a malfunction during the final phase of today's rendezvous. So far, the core's is locked on solidly with a comparable system on the International Space Station, providing updated navigational information into the Progress Prishal combination computers, guiding it towards what initially will be a fly-around of the station about 24.5 minutes from now. That'll be a 54-degree fly-around to precisely align the forward docking probe on Prичал to the Nauka multipurpose laboratory module docking port for final approach and ultimately contact and capture, with docking scheduled at 9:26 a.m. Central Time, 10:26 a.m. Eastern Time. The docking port to which Prичал is arriving in just 48 minutes from now was cleared yesterday on Thanksgiving morning when the unpiloted 78 Progress cargo craft detached, undocked from the Nauka multipurpose laboratory module and backed away. This is a replay of yesterday's undocking of the 78 Progress cargo craft. It undocked at 5:23 a.m. Central Time, 6:23 a.m. Eastern Time, backed away to a safe distance away from the International Space Station, from which Russian flight controllers then sent commands to deorbit that vehicle loaded with trash, where it fell back into the Earth's atmosphere and burned up harmlessly over the Pacific Ocean. The detachment of the 78 Progress craft cleared the way again for the nadir, or Earth-facing port, on the Nauka multipurpose laboratory module to greet the new Prичал node module, with that docking scheduled just under 47 minutes from now.
Moscow Station, range is 9 kilometers. I go to activate VHF2. EUR.
The report from the Russian Control Center is that Prичал is now about 9 kilometers away from the International Space Station, closing at a normal rate towards its initial fly-around of the station, and a very, very brief period of station keeping in which the node module will basically, the Progress delivery craft attached to Prичал will put the brakes on for a period of station keeping. That will enable Russian flight controllers to assess the alignment of the forward docking probe on Prичал toward the Nauka multipurpose laboratory module before the final command is sent for the final approach and link up of Prичал to Nauka. On board the International Space Station, the 7 crew members, as mentioned before, from left to right, NASA astronauts Raja Chari and Tom Marshburn, European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer, cosmonauts Anton Shkaplerov, who was the station commander, along with Pyotr Dubrov, and second from the right, Caleb Barron, and on the far right, NASA's Mark Vande Hei. They're up and around. They're conducting other business outside of Shkaplerov and Dubrov, who, as I mentioned a moment ago, are inside the Zvezda service module, monitoring the approach of Prичал at the ready to take over manual control in the unlikely event an issue would occur with the Corps' automated rendezvous system. Marshburn, Barron, and Vande Hei later today, along with Matthias Maurer, will be conducting a spacewalk procedure conference with flight controllers here in Houston in advance of next Tuesday's spacewalk by Tom Marshburn and Caleb Barron that will begin at 6:10 a.m. Central Time, 7:10 a.m. Eastern Time, to replace a faulty S-band communications antenna system on the Port 1 truss of the International Space Station. We'll talk more about that later in the broadcast. This view now of the engineering data on the external camera of the Progress delivery craft attached to Prичал, showing in the bottom left-hand corner the distance between Prичал and Progress and the International Space Station, now just over 7 kilometers separating the arriving Prичал module and the station, closing at a rate of just under 10 meters per second.
Burn is complete. Copy that. Now for Pyotr, you can activate recording since we're already getting a video image from both M-УМ and Progress. So this is a perfect time to press recording and start recording the entire
sequence. Copy. Starting recording in work.
Again, Russian flight controllers, you're hearing the interpretation of their conversations with Russian cosmonauts Anton Shkaplerov and Pyotr Dubrov on board the International Space Station, actively monitoring the approach of Prichal to the complex. You just saw an external HD camera view from International Space Station cameras as the station approaches the coast of Chile and the Andes Mountains, moving from southwest to northeast.
The recording field is showing that recording is in progress, and the time is incrementing. Copy, Peter. Thank you very much.
In just a few minutes, there will be a test of the command link from Shkaplerov and Dubrov of the telerobotically operated rendezvous system as they send test signals basically to the onboard systems of the Prichal node module and the Progress delivery craft that is attached to Prichal. This will verify that we have a good backup rendezvous system in the event a problem would occur with the Core's automated rendezvous system. So far, Core's is operating solidly, providing all of the updated navigational information to the Progress's onboard computers. You can see traversing the river along Chile's mountains. That white dot you see, that is the Prichal module and the Progress resupply or delivery craft in this case. As Prichal and Progress approach the 5-kilometer mark away from the International Space Station. Prichal and Progress now crossing the pampas of Argentina. We'll pass just to the west of Buenos Aires on this pass. A good view of the Progress delivery craft and the Prichal node module flying over Argentina. Moving inexorably towards its docking to the International Space Station less than 40 minutes from now. There will be a series of so-called impulse burns. Those are small engine firings on the Progress delivery craft. It essentially is a propulsion module for the Prichal node. Those impulse burns are small engine firings to fine-tune the vehicle's path to the International Space Station. We're about 15 minutes away from the new Prichal entering the neighborhood of the International Space Station for its fly-around and its alignment to the nadir or Earth-facing port of the Naoka Multipurpose Laboratory module. Prичал in progress, now crossing the border between Argentina and Uruguay. And there's our first view of the International Space Station from external cameras on Prичал in progress. Now 3 kilometers separating the new module from its final destination, closing at a rate of 8 meters per second. Prичал in progress now have moved across Uruguay, now flying 260 miles over southern Brazil.
Дальность 150 разворот.
Принято.
Range rate and rotation started.
And a good view of the new Prичал node module and the attached Progress instrumentation and propulsion compartment. The new module right on course for a docking schedule 35 minutes from now. Again, the node module consists of 6 docking ports, one of which will be employed to link up to the NAOCA multipurpose laboratory module. 5 radial ports will then be available to accommodate future unpiloted Progress resupply vehicles and piloted Soyuz spacecraft.
Copy. We have rotation in reverse and a 5.55 range is 2 kilometers. We're watching the reverse maneuver.
В центре ВКУ. Дальность 1000 часов, скорость 4.23.
Range rate 4.23, range rate 1.76. We give you a go to activate. Okay, standing by. To activate Toru. Anton, we give you a go to activate Toru. Copy your go to activate Toru. We're activating Toru.
Majestically framed against the limb of the Earth, the Prичал node module and the Progress instrumentation and propulsion compartment flying just to the northwest of Rio de Janeiro.
We're performing Toru test.
1.5 kilometers separating Prичал from the International Space Station, closing at a rate of 4 meters per second. About 8.5 minutes from beginning its fly around of the complex. that you see in this view from the external camera on Progress, closing in right on course and right on track for its docking.
We release the push button. I'm activating the network. We have the power network of the hand controllers activating VPS input, initial, activating VPS initial. We have internal power on. Copy. I am preparing the hand controllers. Yes, start the test, the hand controller test. The hand controllers are on. We are starting hand controller test for attitude, moving hand controller up. We see all four illuminated. Neutral. No longer illuminated. Motion down. 4 LEDs are illuminated. Neutral position, no longer illuminated, moving to the left.
Russian flight controllers continuing to provide situational awareness for Anton Shkaplerov, the ISS commander, and his fellow Russian cosmonaut, Pyotr Dubrov, inside the Zvezda service module. They've just conducted a test of the telerobotically operated rendezvous system, a backup system to the Corps' automated rendezvous system that is currently guiding Prичал and Progress toward the Nauka multipurpose laboratory module. Here in Mission Control in Houston, Flight Director Rick Henfling shortly will conduct a poll of his flight controllers to get a go, no-go for final approach and docking. He then will relay that to his Russian shift flight controller, flight director counterpart at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow.
Down. Internal and external are on, neutral position, no longer illuminated, to the left. External and internal are on, neutral position, no longer illuminated. To the right, external and internal are on. The switch, pulling the switch down. Internal and external are on, released, no longer illuminated. Pushing it away from myself. Internal and external are on. Neutral position, no longer illuminated. So hand controller test is without issues. Copy. Thank you.
The reports are all good. All of Prichal's systems, all of Progress's systems in perfect shape so far. Now 800 meters separating the new module from the International Space Station, closing at a rate of 2 meters per second.
Okay, copy. No longer illuminated. Copy, Anton. Work per item 12.3. Starting on item 12.3. VPS in the initial position. Activating operation. Turned on the operation.
And Flight Director Rick Henfling has completed his poll of flight controllers. All positions here are go for docking. The International Space Station in Prичал now flying 260 miles just off the northeast coast of South America.
Anton, you can set the video that is comfortable for you.
Высыл комфортная.
I have accessed I have set up the comfortable position. Okay, copy. I have turned off the operation, and now the 4 LEDs are not on. Copy. I am going to go to page 92 and continue the approach. Range, speaking simultaneously. Range rate 155.
Принято.
Copy.
Начало облета, работаем
Of
по 92-й странице.
work.
На 92-й. На 450, скорость минус 1.43.
Принято.
На 400, есть включение ДПО, есть облет.
Принято. Дальше по 92-й странице работаем.
Дальность 300 метров, скорость минус 0.8.
Принято. Антон, вы визуально тоже контролируйте дальность на соответствие показаниям курса с помощью линейки, если есть возможность.
Значит, где-то 1,5 клетки. Фрейма дальность какого?
Принято. Главное, чтобы более 2 клеток не было.
Нет, чуть больше клетки, чуть больше клетки. Этим сейчас где-то клетка и 0,2.
Принято.
То есть около 230.
Принято, значит, соответствует.
Стыковочный модуль чуть больше одной клетки. Дальше около 230.
Принято. Антон, ждем завкон. Я напомню, в 22 минуты вход в тень.
Через 17 минут. Стыковочный узел в пределах 1 градуса.
Принято.
Наблюдаю разворот по крету.
Принято.
Дальность 190. Курс около
Принято.
0. Закончен разворот по крету.
Принято. Антон, прошу выдать команду формат 44. БПС исходная, работа, включить формат 44.
Даю ППС исходные. И горят. Погасли. Работа. 4 горят. Даю формат 44. Вызвал 4 горят. Сейчас только внутренние. Есть оба причала.
Принято,
Нет
наблюдаем.
включения такого.
Принято. И отключаем работу.
Отключаю работу.
Принято.
Пересечь
Дальше.
диода. Работа погасли.
Принято. Дальше работаем по 93 странице. Контроль автоматического причаливания.
По 93. Член находится справа внизу в пределах 2 градусов.
Принято.
Дальность 160, скорость минус 0,8.
Принято.
Да, по угловым размерам дальность около 150.
Принято.
До 120. Снизу, в пределах 2 градусов.
Принято.
Плюс-минус 0.7. АСМ, дальность по угловым размерам 100 метров.
Принято. Дальность 100 метров.
Снизу 2 градуса. Пересты собраны.
Принято. Десять минут до входа в тень. Фара включена.
Да, принял, фара включена. Угловым размером СМ, дальность около 75.
Принято.
Курс 70, скорость минус 0.33. Мешать
Принято.
также снизу 2 градуса. Листы собраны. Подходит дальность около 40 метров по угловым размерам стыковочного узла. От курса 46, скорость минус 0.17. Мишень снизу
Принято.
2 градуса. Хинку наблюдаете?
Да, наблюдаем. Есть подтверждение, есть готовность. Есть сообщение о готовности ССП.
Есть, ССП готов. В сорчевом формате.
Принято. Антон, на 30 метрах команду АОВК «Закр» не выдавать.
Давай, принял на 30 метров. Дальность около 30 метров.
Принято.
Включая БПС исходная, работа.
Принято. И увод разрешен.
И вот разрешен.
Ну и пока работу все равно не выключаем. Пересветкой можете светить.
Пересветку, наверное, включу. Мишень снизу где-то 1,5 градуса. Собраны.
Принято. Дальше по 94-й странице
Половины
работаем.
клетки стыковочный узел. Дальность около 20.
Принято. Продолжаем контроль автоматического причаливания.
94 страница. Есть небольшие помехи в изображении. Восстановилось.
Принято. 5 минут до входа в тень.
Клетка. Мишень. Дальность около 20 метров.
Принято.
Есть небольшой крен. Крен снизу в пределах 2 градусов.
Принято.
Выпуск мишени ходит влево-вверх. Есть крен 15-30 градусов.
Принято.
Крен сохраняется. Наблюдаю восхождение, пытаюсь крестов. Работаю пересветкой.
Да, попробуйте пересветкой.
Наблюдаю мишень, крен около 30 градусов.
Принято.
Около 2 клеток. Дальность сейчас около 8 метров. Мишень слева 3 градуса.
Принято.
Около 30. Увеличивается расхождение. 3 градуса слева, с креном 30 идем. 2,5 клетки. Дальность около 6 метров.
Принято. Пока не дальше 4 клеток, продолжаем контроль автоматического причаливания.
Да, сейчас 3 градуса влево внизу. До 2 градусов. Крен уменьшается. До метра. Градусов слева, вниз, градус. Есть контакт.
Принято.
Есть индикаторный режим.
Принято. Антон, поздравляю вас с успешной стыковкой.
Есть цепка.
Принято.
И на всех поздравляем.
Ждем окончания стягивания, подключения тору по УЗ.
Включение тору, паузы. Приняли. Ожидаем.
После стягивания.
МКС ЦУПа Москвы ВСГ-1 для Петра по поводу завершения приложением ПЕК и отключения записи.
На связи ВСГ-1.
Можем делать пункт 11 радиограммы 0950.
Принято, приступаем. Москва МТС, канал ВСГ-1 для Петра.
Отвечаю ВСГ-1, Петр.
Хотел уточнить, только 11 или 10 тоже выполняем?
С минуту, Петр. Да, извиняюсь, и 10, и 11. 9, 10, 11. 12 делаем по КРЛ, и сброс делаем по СИЭ.
Принято, сброс по СИЭ. Я просто думал, вы формат 44 подольше записать хотите. Ладно, выполняем.
Хорошо.
Экипаж МКС ЦУПа Москвы.
До Москвы, как слышно меня? До Москвы, ответьте, МКС, канал ВСГ-1.
На связи. Антон, есть разрешение на выключение ТОРу. Дальше работаем по странице 99. Он 12.6.
Да, понял, включаю БПС исходную. Работа у меня уже горит. В ручном управлении импульсные режимы отключать не надо. Отключать выбор не горит.
Принято.
Попало изображение МКС. Кого-то символ.
Принято.
Включаю передачи команд.
Отключаем передачи команд.
Значит, внешние горели, сейчас горит переход на резервный приемник внешний.
Принято.
Контролирую, фара не горит.
Принято.
Отключаю работу. Включаю работу, горят только внутренние.
Ну, это возможно.
Включаю пульт управления БПС. Гасли, горели погасли. Контролирую, отвод плюс фикси water горят.
Принято.
Сеть. Сеть питания Гасли. Отключаю передачу на пульте абонент 1.
Принято.
Включаю линия связи 3. Прихожу на лэптоп.
Принято.
Нажимаю отбой ТВ.
Принято.
Отбой ТВ выдал. МБРТК СТС. Команды. Включаю резервный приемник 1, УКВ 2.
Принято.
Включаю УКВ 2 топливо.
Принято.
Включаю ТОРУ.
Принято.
Включаю БКУЦ. Если делают погас. Включаю пульт ППС на ППС 21.
Принято.
Включается ВКУ 2. Троллейбус на маке. Свет идет, не горит.
Принято.
Убираю ручки.
Принято. Антон, еще раз большой привет от всех от нас с наилучшими пожеланиями. Поздравляем с успешной стыковкой, благодарим за отличную работу. Теперь услышимся в феврале по поводу очередной стыковки грузовика. Так что заранее, с наступающим Новым годом. И, Антон, есть просьба
Спасибо.
поговорить с Дмитрием Олеговичем.
Я готов.
МКС ЦУПа Москвы для Антона, МСГ-1.
Да, слышу.
Антон, давайте сейчас на ШСС переходим. Сейчас с вами руководство с балкона будет общаться. Выйдите на ШСС, проверим связь. Вот прямо сейчас.
Хорошо.
Антон Петр, добрый день. Это Рогозин. Вы на связи? Антон Петр, это Рогозин. Вы на связи? Так, экипаж, вы на связи? Это Рогозин. Добрый день.
Да, слышу вас, МСГ-1.
Да, добрый вечер. Это Рогозин. Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
Да, я вас поздравляю с успешной стыковкой в автоматическом режиме. В принципе, то, о чем так долго говорили в отряде космонавтов в энергии и в ЦУПе, свершилось. Поэтому поздравляю вас сердечно, все прошло вроде по намеченному плану, штатно, без каких бы то ни было сбоев, которые у нас раньше наблюдались в работе системы стыковки. Сейчас что у вас происходит? Завершилось ли стягивание?
Стягивание завершилось, сейчас ждем команду, будем переходить уже ближе к самому УМу и будем готовиться к проверке герметичности с последующим открытием люков. Ну и вас лично, как руководителя, поздравить с очередной победой Роскосмоса. Хоть небольшой, но все-таки очередной наш шаг в будущее.
Ну, вот так вот, шаг за шагом и решаем проблемы. Я вас тоже сердечно поздравляю, обнимаю. Огромный привет от всего коллектива, государственной комиссии. Я так понимаю, что, конечно, и ГОГУ вас уже поздравила. Сейчас хочу слово передать Сергею Константиновичу Крикалеву. Я с вами прощаюсь, понимаю, что сейчас связь исчезнет, поэтому хорошей вам сегодня и штатной работы.
Спасибо, Дмитрий Олегович, очень приятно лично от вас слышать эти слова поздравления. Всего хорошего.
Да, ребят, добрый день, это Крикалев.
Сергей Константинович.
Ну, я тоже присоединяюсь к поздравлениям. Станция получила немножко, хоть и небольшое, но добавление объема. Станция стала побольше, посложнее. Ну и вам предстоит работа по продолжению интеграции всего этого. Так что делайте так, чтобы все это стало единым целым. Работа предстоит большая, интересная. Ну и я вас поздравляю с тем, что очередной этап работы начинается.
В Москве как нас слышно?
Вот теперь слышно. Не знаю.
Сергей, слышал вас?
Да, я просто еще раз хотел сказать, поздравляю вас с тем, что добавился дополнительный объем в станцию. Это начало нового этапа работы, и я вас поздравляю с тем, что этот этап новый начинается.
Да, спасибо, Сергей. Поздравляем тоже вас.
Ну и давайте мы уходим со связи. Еще раз удачи вам и продолжайте работать по циклограмме.
Спасибо, всего хорошего.
До свидания.
МКС ЦУПа Москвы, ВСГ-1.
Слушаем. Кто по канале ВСГ-1?
Встречаю ВСГ-1. Как слышно мне ВСГ-1?
Слышно хорошо. Мы перешли на штатные средства связи.
Антон, сначала мы делаем возврат в штатную конфигурацию. Вот, там все странички написаны у тебя во время 14:00, 15:40 по форме 24. Вот, ну и дальше вот у тебя это монтаж переходника, и потихоньку идем, как будем готовы к контролю герметичности, я тебя позову.
Да, мы перешли на ведение связи.
Связь, все, штатная конфигурация. Все принял. Вот, ну и дальше по 24 форме. Проверка герметичности у нас штатно начинается где-то в районе 5 часов. Вот, ну, если какие-то будут другие указания, я дополнительно выйду.
Так, хорошо, Коля.
Вот, и у тебя сейчас есть работа по монтажу переходника на воздуховод ВД-1.5. Это в ГКМ м То есть занимайся этим пока. Единственное, Антон, меня слышишь еще на связь? Не ушел еще?
Да, слышу. Слышу.
Так, в качестве информации, сейчас прохладненько там, в районе 9-10 градусов в УМе. Поэтому, ну, ближе к открытию будут указания. На всякий случай я вам потом еще скажу, какие есть особенности, скажем так.
НПУ отключать? Что-то я не вижу. БД.
Отключаем НПУ, отключаем НПУ.
Отключаю.
Это.
Station Houston on Space Ground 2 for Raja at your convenience for hardware relocate taskless item. Hey Raja, so in reference to your crew note that you left in the EMER hardware relocate taskless item, we just have some answers to your questions. Let me know when you're ready to copy.
Okay, go ahead, ready to copy.
Okay, first, in terms of what's supposed to be in that Ziploc bag labeled EMER Air Supply Tools, if you reference Eclipse Procedure 1.203 EMER Air Supply Assembly, you can take a look at the step 10.3, and it lists out all the items that are supposed to be in that Ziploc bag. Please take a look and note if you have any discrepancies.
1.203, step 10.3, and I can inventory the bag based on that.
That's correct. It's 10.3 is an inventory of that bag. And then secondly, speaking of discrepancies, you noted you found a USCV NORS mount clamp in that Ziploc bag. So that's not supposed to be there. It needs to go back into CTB 5512 in the JLP.
So you want me to take the Ziploc bag that has the USCV NORS clamp mount out of there and put it back in CTV 5512 on the JLP? And can you tell me the location of that? I think it's like A2D. Does that sound right?
That's correct, Roger.
Great. Sounds good. I'll go do that now.
Moscow Station on Space to Ground 1. Go ahead, Anton, on Space to Ground 1. Nikolai, for step 1 is done. Server 1 is off. And the adapter, I took the backup one, that has no barcode on the collar. So I didn't find the one that you indicated in the
90, правильно?
radiogram. So it's the adapter that has 90 at the end. Yes, it's the barcode is going that one. Well, it wasn't there, so okay, we copy. And I'm moving on to CV2. Copy. Moscow Station on Space Ground 1. Moscow Station on Space Ground 1.
КС по Москве, ВСГ-1.
Station Moscow on Space Ground 1. Nikolai. For the air duct that is in ГКМ, there is only one so there is only one half collar. There is no collar with the serial number 800.
Речь идет, как бы, Антон, знаешь о чем?
Anton, we are talking about the following thing. It needs to be only one, but it needs to be number either 90 or 100. And what is actually indeed installed there? Well, 90 was installed, and the adapter is also number 90. And as far as I understand, there needs to be only one. The new one that's going to be with the guider 24A. So I will install it and clamp it down. Well, if you found number 100, then you will be connecting number 100 to number 100. You found number 90 and you found the other number 90. So you install the adapter and the half clamp, so you understand everything. It should be clear now. And Anton, once you put it all together, I am going to tell you call us, please, and I'm going to tell you more a little bit about our future plans. So you want me to install everything and then activate CV1? Correct. So once you start CV1, please turn it in the direction of PEGO MLM so that it wouldn't blow in the direction of the node module. So it should be in the opposite direction. Are you talking about the air duct? Yes. And only then you activate CV so that you don't get blown away.
Москва, МКС, команда «Виде».
Moscow Station on Space to Ground 1. Go ahead on Space to Ground 1, Anton. Nikolai, I have installed the half clamp, but I didn't find where to connect the bonding strap because I need to make it a little bit longer and I need more time for that. I'm talking about the bonding strap. Understood, Anton. Could you do that then? Will do. I connected the adapter. And if you'd like, I can actually turn on server 1. One little thing, Anton, we do need to install the bonding strap today. Yes, of course. I'm going to turn it on so that everything's like working and running in the background, and I will go and look how I can actually extend the bonding strap. And Anton, in a couple of words, I wanted to let you know what I'm planning. We're going to be opening the hooks, moving on to the combined mode state, and then performing the leak checks. And then on our go, you'll be opening the hatches on the station side. So it's at 1800 station time? GMT? Yes. Anton, what is your question? The nearest VHF pass is like 1650. Right. Close. We'll be closing the station hooks and then performing the leak checks. Okay? And we can start working for the procedure on our go. Okay? And once you're done with the leak checks, before the next VHF pass, you need to open the MLM hatch. Because during the next compass, we would like to be able to open the node hatch. And just FYI, it's pretty chilly. Put some extra layers. Okay? And just make sure there is no condensate left. And you will have to turn on the FOD unit there. Close but not latch the hatch. Take air samples there. And then you are closing but not latching the hatch. And by tomorrow morning, we are sure everything is going to be hunky-dory there. We decided to turn it not in the direction of the node so that the warm air is not blowing there, but away from it. And just in a couple of words, you turn on server 1, and let's see what's going on, and then work with that bonding strap. Moscow Station on Space Ground 1, server 1 fan has been turned on. Copy.
station, Huntsville on space to ground 2 for Russia and briefing. Hi, Russia. Letting you know that your PD Grace is enabled and waiting on privatized space to ground 4 whenever you're ready to start the diet briefing, and the science and operations teams will be listening in.
Switching over there now.
Thank you, sir.
Fill station, Raja on 2. Do you mind if I start the in-space a few minutes early?
Hi, Rasha. We still have a little bit of ground commanding to do. Would you like me to give you a call when we're ready, sir?
That'll work. I'll be ready.
Thanks for your patience. We appreciate it. Station Huntsville on space to ground 2 for Russia and in space. Hey Roger, we got the ground commanding completed. We're ready to get started when you are. Before you go in step 2.4, we are going to have a couple of deltas because of some of the science we're seeing. So once you get the camera set up and stuff, I'll give you those steps.
Sounds good. And Huntsville Station, Rajan 2, holding at 2.4 for your go.
Hey, Raja. It's really exciting to talk to you. You're the last member of Crew 3 to talk to, so we're happy about working with you today. What we need you to do is power on monitor 1. Then you'll see what we're seeing. We're seeing unusual wavy lines. And I'll have words once you can see that monitor.
Okay, I can have the monitor up and see wavy lines.
Outstanding. So if you would pan the camera to the left so the PD can see the full field of the wavy lines.
Good.
Hey, Raja, perfect job. That looks fabulous. And you are go to proceed with step 2.4. We will be skipping step 3.
That'll be 2.4, skip 3, and then do 4 and, or sorry, so just 2.4.
That's affirmed. 2.4, and then we'll move into the next procedure.
MCC Moscow ISS and Space to Ground 1 about the leak check. Go ahead and Space to Ground 1, Peter. I have a question of Form 24 for the leak check. There is a reference for item 7.1. That is first MLM ingress. Does it mean it's just there is no item for the UMM module, and then we can just use this one?
As you move into your next procedure, you will begin at step 4.1, and you will skip step 4.3.
Maybe start at 4.1 and skip 4.3.
Affirmative.
And before monitor 2 wasn't working, are we expecting that to come up this time?
MCC Moscow ISS and Space to Ground 1. MCC Moscow ISS on Space to Ground 1.
All right, do you want me to then just do camera or monitor 1 for now?
Go ahead and Space to Ground 1. Was there an LOS? So how did you copy my question? I did copy your question, well, Peter. So first ingress 712, 721, and first on page 72 is performing the interface leak check. I think it all makes sense. So which version of the procedure? On this page, October 8th, 2021.
На странице 7.2. Посмотри, у тебя та версия, нет? 8 октября.
Okay, do you have October 8th, 2021 version?
We are complete with 4.2, monitor 1.
20.
Okay, it's a leak check. Okay, I have just mine is 2019. Okay, And I have 2021. I need to see why we have a different procedure date. So which, are you looking at a paper copy or are you looking at an electronic copy? And I'm looking at an electronic copy. Take a look at the, take a look at your paper copy. So we're going to close the hooks during the coverage, during our compass, and then we're going to perform the leak check.